Hello and welcome to Ryno's Ravens Review. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Well, Ravens 41, Bucs 31 does sound like a nice win, but to a certain extent, I feel like the Ravens got off to a very terrible start and got off to not got off to a terrible finish, finished terribly. Wow. They just got lucky that they scored 34 points in the middle there somewhere. Yeah. As you can see, I'm on BaltimoreRavens.com. Let's go to the little Game Centers page. Start calling out some stats. Fairly decent game passing. 17 of 22. That's a very nice completion percentage. I mean, only 285 yards. Well, I mean, it doesn't sound like that much. Of course, then there's, 5 touchdown passes. So, it might actually be like a really good night. Yeah, okay, he didn't throw for 400 yards. 280 and 5 touchdown passes is probably better. Right? To a certain extent, some of that is due to Derrick Henry. 169 yards on the ground for Derrick Henry in only 15 carries. I don't know, maybe my math is just terrible, but is that actually 10 yards a carry on average anyway? He had an 80-yard run. It's very disappointing that we had to get Kansas City first game of the year. Because I feel like if we were playing them, like, let's say now, things might be different. Like the NFL did the Kansas City Chiefs a favor by giving them the Ravens first week before a lot of these teams have a chance to get acclimated with some new acquisitions. Some of the older acquisitions or older teammates that have been teammates for several years probably going to be locked in still. Definitely was not the case with the Ravens offense to start the year. Not that there's not still some problems. Lamar Jackson on a 9 running attempts, which I think is a fairly good number. That's great. Less than 10 carries? Yeah, that's great. Justice Hill only 5, Flowers 1. Well, yeah, I mean, surprising, somewhat of a low number of plays. Though I guess it is 30. Getting math. 30 runs. 22 passes. So 52 plays, that's it. It's not that many. To a certain extent, we're almost getting too many yards. Too many yards of play. Almost couldn't even run enough time off the clock. That's really why the Tampa Bay Buccaneers actually scored as many points as they did. Because the Ravens were almost scoring too quickly and giving them ball right back. How it goes, I guess. Let's go. I like to talk about the targets. So let's get to NFL.com's page. Their little stat page of the game. I like that their targets just kind of help with receivers. Rashad Bateman had himself a game. A very nice pass. It's only a 49-yard pass, so it doesn't get that, 50-plus tag. 49-yard touchdown pass. And it's not like Lamar threw it to him 10 yards and then Bateman ran. Lamar's throwing this ball in the air that far. To me, that doesn't happen that often. Where he hooks up with a guy on that long of a pass, but it was... it's a very nice route run. Bateman on the outside, kind of running towards his defender, kind of goes inside a little bit, to move the defender inside, and then he cuts it out more towards the pylon, and then that's kind of in the general direction that Lamar threw it, kind of take the safety a little bit out of play there. And he got it to him, practically the 50 yards in the air to the end zone. Bateman still had 3 other targets, totaling 120 yards. Yeah, very good game for Bateman. Justice Hill, 44 yards. With 3 targets. that works as well. Mark Andrews, I guess the guy that really is responsible for hurting Baker Mayfield's feelings. Not that the Ravens defense didn't help that much last night. 41 yards, 2 touchdowns, 4 targets. Bateman 4 for 4, catches the targets. Hill 3 for 3. Andrews 4 for 4. It's pretty good. I mean, those are some of the top pass catchers on the team. I mean, who's missing out of there? Maybe Flowers and maybe Likely. Well, Flowers 1 for 1. Likely 2 for 4. Well, there was some of the misses. Flowers kind of got dinged up a little bit in the first half. So we didn't get too many catches. Plus, he's become somewhat of a focal point that he's drawing more coverages, so you got to spread the ball around a little more. And I think the big word everybody is using now, the Ravens, including pundits and other people covering them, is a pick your poison offense. You know, yeah. Does kind of seem like it, doesn't it? Aguilar's still kind of hanging around. 1 catch on 2 targets, 20 yards. Isaiah Likely, 17 yards on those 2 catches. Kohler, 14 yards on his 1. Henry, 13 yards and a touchdown on his 1. Flowers, only 11 yards, 1 catch. Ricard. If Ricard's getting thrown balls now, I mean, you got Kohler out there and Likely and Andrews. And a very good tight end category type room there. Except Ricard drops the football. Would have been like a 10-yard gainer too. Of course, he's like, there's nobody around him. He's trying to run with the ball before he catches it. Happens. Of course, as we say, pick your poison offense. Well, that is when Linderbaum doesn't snap the ball and hit Zay Flowers in the face, or Lamar Jackson throws a pass to his receiver in the backfield instead of behind him in the backfield, and the receiver doesn't catch it. Which is somewhat odd that, I guess maybe because they're thinking because it was a backwards pass that it's more of a long handoff. I'm assuming that's what the rule is, and that's why Zay Flowers only has 1 target. But yeah, instead of throwing it on the front shoulder and leading him, Lamar throws it to the back shoulder, essentially going away from Zay Flowers, and he can't get the football. And then, luckily, Likely touched the guy down. Of course, Tampa Bay picks up the ball. Likely touches him down, but then they didn't blow the whistle dead. They let the play go, and the guy just runs to the end zone, and I don't know what the hell Lamar Jackson and Likely and Flowers, who were trying to bring the guy down, I don't know what the hell they were trying to do, but that isn't tackling. That is something that, yeah, I don't know. It wasn't tackling. It wasn't tackling. I don't think it, I mean, it looked like something that doesn't belong on a football field. I mean, if that's going to happen, you got to teach these offensive players how to tackle somebody. How do you not know how to tackle somebody? Especially when you got your hands on him. Like, Lamar has his hands around the guy's waist. Like, what? And he kind of did nothing. I mean, it's not like he's Derrick Henry and he's throwing people off of him. He's just moving towards the end zone. Wow. Yeah. Luckily, Ravens didn't exactly lose the turnover battle, because the one that hit Zay Flowers, Lamar was actually able to get back. Yeah, because they actually called on Linderbaum for a fumble, for fumbling the ball because he hit Flowers. I mean, I guess. We were able to get that back. And Marlon Humphrey with 2 interceptions in the first half, so the Ravens were able to win the turnover battle. Would have been even better if the offense could hang on to the ball. That's fine. Let the ball go. I haven't even mentioned my notes yet. Terrible. What do I even have written down here? Oh, well, I say terrible start and terrible finish. The finish would have been a lot better if the special teams would get off their ass and figure out how to field an onside kick. Just explain something to you right now. Based on, heard the stats on the broadcast last night. There have been 19 onside kicks attempted in the NFL this year. 19. 4 against the Ravens. Well, they're scoring a lot of points. The opponent has fielded their own onside kick twice, both against the Ravens. The rest of the league is perfect at covering up. How would you say that? Yeah. Like the Ravens are the only ones that are allowing their opponent to do an onside kick and get the ball back. The rest of the league is just snatching up the football and saying, no, you don't get to win the onside kick. What the hell is going on? I mentioned this the last time it happened, that they have had the history in the past year of not being able to field onside kicks. Aguilar screwed that one up last year. Do they not understand how to do it? Do they not understand the rules? Because something I was trying to look up the rules here, and based on what I'm seeing in the rules, you don't have to have two. You don't have to have two people back to return. You could have one man up, especially like, let's say, an onside kick, right? You don't want to have two return men back at the return line, because then you got 9 on 11. The 11 being the kicking team trying to get their onside kick, get the ball back. You can't have that. It sounded like, the most you could have is 2 back there. Oh, if the maximum is 2, it means you can't have more than 2, but you could have less than 2. So let's take that one guy and get his ass up there, further up the field somehow, to help field the onside kick. Push would be ball recoverers out of the way or something. But no, you got 2 guys chilling back there. Okay. That's best guess, right? Otherwise, you just have the wrong people out there. Zay Flowers, I'm sorry, he's made a hell of a lot of nice plays, or something like that. Lots of good plays. Not sure I want him on my special teams for a few reasons. I don't think he's the greatest ball handler. We saw that in the championship game. And sadly, nothing he can really do about it because he is so short. He, just by the very laws of physics, he has a smaller catch radius. Somebody else has got to do it. Just not Flowers. Because again, doing it over there to Flowers' side, he screwed the ones up earlier in the year. Let's just keep putting him over there. He keeps screwing up the onside kick and letting the opponent have the ball back. Maybe let's stop having him over there. Just a thought. But no, be the only team in the NFL that gives the ball back on an onside kick. Damn idiots. But again, that starts at the top. What's John Harbaugh doing about it? Nothing, apparently. We'll see. This offense is going to score a shit ton of points. I'm sure they will see another onside kick. We'll see how they do going forward. Yeah, that's it for those notes. Talk about the offense some more. Only had one drive in the first quarter. It's not great. Tampa Bay was definitely able to methodically matriculate the ball down the field. Again, that really isn't great. Oh, yeah. I mean, 4.5 minutes on the first drive, 6 minutes on their second drive. Of course, Baltimore, the Ravens, they had theirs. They had the ball for 4 minutes and 22 seconds, 8 plays, and only got 8 yards. Which is weird. Oh, that's right. That's right. 4-yard run, then 11-yard run, then 11-yard pass. And then failed on a pitch play to Derrick Henry. And then 2 straight sacks of Lamar, totaling 17-yard loss. What? They said, almost like Lamar didn't realize the Bucs liked to blitz. Because he wasn't ready for it. Oh, there's a guy blitzing me. Oh, what do I do? And even, the pass protection. It's like Linderbaum. Then they made a note of this on the broadcast. Or maybe it was the Manningcast, because I was watching the Manningcast. And it said, actually, I don't remember which one it was. But one of those blitzes was coming up the middle towards Linderbaum. And there were 2 guys. And he kind of went towards one. But he was a little further out. So he shifted and went to the closer one. And that did kind of screw up Hill. He was the running back trying to pick up the blitzer. That, oh, well, if Linderbaum's going to go get this guy, well, then I'll go get this other dude. So then, actually, neither guy got picked up because Linderbaum essentially didn't make his decision quick enough. So then you had 2 guys that are on Lamar. Pass protection. But to a certain extent, Lamar kind of figured it out because then he was able to escape later in the game, which leads me to believe, nowhere in the offensive game plan was, oh, the Buccaneers are going to blitz, so let's do a this or that or something, or, hey, Lamar, not even that we're going to have any game plan. It's like, the Buccaneers are going to blitz you. It's like nobody knew. Oh, they're blitzing. Ah! Okay. Yeah, because he didn't get sacked the rest of the game, which is weird. More center quarterback exchange issues. I told you about the fumbles where Linderbaum smacking Flowers in the face, and because of that dumb motion play. Look, I get it. The whole jet sweep thing, you want Flowers to come in between the quarterback and the center, which to me just doesn't sound like a good idea. Of course, at the same time, if you snap it quicker, I'm sure they want to snap it quicker. So that Lamar gets the ball first and then can do a play action with Flowers. Maybe Zay just running too fast behind. Running too fast in there and it screws everything up. And then it's done backwards pass. Because at that point, the backwards pass point, it's just, you don't need to be that cute with it. It's, why Zay Flowers is that far behind the line of scrimmage to try to catch a pass, I don't know. And again, it's too cutesy, tricky gadget play. Just kind of run like normal plays, You're crushing them. You're crushing the Bucs. The only reason the score was as close as it was is because you were getting too cute with it in the fourth quarter. Didn't score that much, and you gave the Buccaneers another possession by screwing up the onside kick. But not that the defense is above reproach. Again, the defense allowed the Buccaneers to methodically matriculate the ball up and down the field. For most of the game, to a certain extent, they did catch a lucky break when Mike Evans came out of the game. Evans been dealing with a hamstring issue. Yeah, he did catch a touchdown. It was kind of a Ravens were in zone on the left side. They had a man deep. They had a man kind of low. And the Bucs put 3 pass catchers on that side of the field. Well, they had one high, one low, and one in the middle. Evans, well, the guy in the middle isn't covered. So there you go. Kind of the disappointing thing about zone. You can play a zone, but you're playing, all over the field. Well, one way an offense beats that is to flood a zone. Then it's like 1 or 2 defenders against 3 or 4 pass catchers. They're outnumbered. So, not a whole lot you can do. It's just bad play call. You didn't get home on the blitz. They definitely needed more help from the offense. I know it's not an easy thing to do, but at the same time, you got to understand, offense is always in control of the game. They're always in control of the pace of the game. They have the ball, obviously, right? It's got to be obvious to people by now. If you're a defense, you can't really control the pace of the game. You don't have the football. You're kind of at the mercy of what the offense can do. Now, you can make plays to stifle or stop an offense, but again, you're not in control. And it showed because a lot of quick snaps. Bucs getting on the formation, getting set, none of this motion bullshit, and just snapping the ball real quick before the Ravens could even get their defensive players aligned up right. Bucs did it a few times. Got bunch and bunches of yards. Not great. But again, what do you want to do? You get the offensive players lined up, and then they just snap the ball. What? Not a whole lot you can do as a defense. But probably the real turning point, I'm going to say, it was definitely the second quarter. Because, yeah, you see the Bucs, a touchdown, Ravens punt, and then field goal. And then start of the second quarter, essentially. Maybe the Ravens had the ball for like a few seconds in the first quarter. They start their second drive. But then, it's touchdown, and then it's interception. Touchdown, Ravens, interception. Yeah, see what changed that? Yeah, Marlon Humphrey picking off Baker Mayfield twice. Once in the end zone and once somewhere around midfield. That was a turning point. The offense did give the defense a break because you can see here the touchdown in the second quarter allowed the defense to get some time off. 8 plays for 70 yards. Very nice offensive drive. But, again, the turning point. Changing the momentum from favoring the Buccaneers to favoring the Ravens. Yeah. And it just... Again, the defense really isn't in control, but they can contribute heavily. Stifling, stopping, getting the offense the ball back. It really is a team. It's a whole team effort, right? You can't say that the Ravens offense is the reason they're winning. Well, the reason the Ravens offense had the ball as much as they did in the second quarter is because the defense forced 2 turnovers. So, but again, you got to help each other out, right? The defense helped the offense out. The offense helps the defense out by keeping them off the field. But again, to a certain extent, almost too many big plays by the Ravens offense. Talk about some of these other defensive numbers. You can see the 2 picks here and a few pass defenses by Nate Wiggins. He came very close to getting his first pick twice. Actually, once was the second Humphrey interception. Humphrey just jumps in front of him and catches the ball. Probably because he knows Wiggins sucks at catching the football. And on the other one, and again, Peyton Manning actually mentioned this. Wiggins staring down the quarterback, receiver running, kind of ahead of Wiggins. And Baker Mayfield wants to throw the back shoulder. And Peyton Manning said, you can't do that. You can only do that when the defender's not looking at you. Because then now he's in between you and the receiver. He's going to hit the ball. You got lucky that the wide receiver turned into a cornerback there and prevented Wiggins from catching his first interception. Shame on him. Guys, we're going to lose the whole time. Allow Wiggins to get his first interception. It's terrible. Not a whole lot of pressure early, but to a certain extent, that is kind of the thing. You pressure some of these quarterbacks and some of these offense in the league now, and they're gonna find the hole. Mostly because you probably figure it's where the blitz is coming from. If the blitz is coming from the left side, well, there's probably one less guy on the left side now. But then late, because the Ravens offense scores a bunch of points, now the Bucs are down. Now what are they doing? Well, now you can be a lot more aggressive in going after a quarterback. So, a lot more pressure late in the game. Not a whole lot in the early part of the game, which I guess is kind of mostly true. Darius Washington on the blitz. On a nickel blitz. Actually, on a nickel blitz because he was filling in for Humphrey. Humphrey left the game with a knee injury on that second pick. Darius Washington gets a sack. Odafe Owe and Kyle Van Noy also with sacks. And something I thought was weird here. You see Michael Pierce here. Not listed as a sack, but where was it? Because the Bucs got to where they were going for 2 points here. They did it twice. They got one and failed to get the other one because, as you can see right here, 2-point conversion fails. Baker Mayfield sacked. Oh, it doesn't. No, that's not what I wanted. Shit. I thought it said Pierce sacked him. Just says Baker Mayfield sacked. But Pierce was in there on the sack. I don't know why. Why is that not counted as a sack? This isn't counted as a sack. The Ravens only have 3, and I remember seeing Washington and Van Noy and get theirs. But where's the fourth one? The fourth one being that one on the 2-point conversion. I don't know why that one wouldn't count. Right? That does not count towards, your player stats or your team stats. It's a sack. It's a scoring play. You don't get him a sack. It's odd. I wonder if that's just a mistake or if that's just the way the rule is. Not that I'm very great in rule books and such, but oh well. Yeah. All right. I think that's about where we're going to end this. It's very disappointing to see this again. Trying to wrap this up. I know I want to end it, but I'm going to summarize and wrap up here. It's very disappointing to see this again. That just a not great way to finish. I mean, look in the fourth quarter here. Fumble, Ravens. Touchdown, Bucs. Touchdown, Ravens. Okay, finally you scored something. Touchdown, Bucs. Touchdown, Bucs, because they got back-to-back possessions. And then Ravens punt. Still not doing that good in the fourth quarter. To a certain extent, around here, Lamar Jackson ain't even in the game. Okay. Kind of weird, but okay, that's fine. Whatever. Tampa Bay still playing like they got a shot to win this. That's what happens when you allow teams to beat you on that onside kick and get the ball back. And you've done it twice now. Probably why they thought they had a chance. You need to fix that. Never going to beat Kansas City until you fix that. Not that you could do it anyway. But, alright, let's look at this schedule. So, yeah, this is going to do it for this edition of Ryno's Ravens Review. Please stay tuned for... See next... okay. This coming Saturday for the next episode of Ryno's Ravens Preview. And I'll preview the game between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I am the Angry Ryno. Fly, Ravens, fly.